Hello, welcome everybody. What's going on? I'm just doing some quick reading. I found a flowchart. Yeah, Lancer. We're not supposed to know this in the context of the story yet, but yeah, Lancer is Cuchulainn, the legendary Irish hero. I expect a full accent next time he shows up. Oh no. I don't know if I can do an Irish accent. I like to think I can. I am half Irish, so like you think I should be able to, right? Problem a lot of Americans have is that when we try to do what we think is an Irish accent, we end up blending it into like a Scottish accent. The Scottish accent is all like very back of the throat, but the Irish accent is a lot more like in the teeth. You talk a lot of the front of the teeth. Of course, I don't know any of the I don't know any like idioms or anything like that. So I'm just looking up. I found a master flowchart for each route, so that we don't fucking die. Which, you know, we might just let that happen sometimes anyway, depending on what's going on. But the way that the game seems to be broken up, Fate Stay Night seems to be broken up in terms of days a little more loosely than Witch on the Holy Night or Tsukihime. Tsukihime was broken up in days, but each day was pretty much exactly like the same length, with one or two outliers. It was an in-game flowchart. Okay, cool. But does it show you? Does it show you the chapters you haven't done yet, or does it show you the routes you haven't done yet? I guess we could take a look. We could probably look at it if we have it. We've already done the prologue, so I want to. I want to try and get at least to like the third day summoning Saber, where we got to in the prologue, and then I think there's a little bit more, and then we actually technically start the Fate route instead of like the prologue stuff. Which there is other prologue stuff because there's flags we have to set to do. There's flags we have to set in order to get the new routes, but none of those flags really matter until after we finish the Fate route anyway, so that's not something that we're going to have to worry about for now. Yes, we did already do the prologue. You can find the VOD here on Twitch or ! Links, and you can find the Twitch VOD uploaded to YouTube. I published it today. Actually, you can also ! Discord, join the Discord, and then take a peek in the YouTube notifications channel, and that should also direct you to the VOD. But yeah, we did the prologue. It took us like 4.5 hours, which was... I did not remember it being that long when I first did it all those years ago. The Mirror Moon translation. Yeah. It's time for Prologue 2 Electric Boogaloo. Well, I think... Alright, for those of you who... I imagine most of you are familiar with Fate, and that's why you're here, so it's no secret that the prologue is written from Marie's perspective, and then the actual VN proper is written from Shiro's perspective. Oh, I forgot to mention that it was basically Cage 2 intro again. Basically Cage 2 intro. What do you mean by that? I mean, kind of. Thank you, Gilgamesh, for the head pats. TSN sound alerts are muted for reading streams. Smile. Last login. Yes, is because I wasn't on that tab because I was typing out the pinned message. Which is why you didn't hear the shuriken impact my cock! Just the prologue going into the logo. Prologue going into the logo / main menu. Oh, okay, I think I understand what you mean. Yeah. But yeah, yeah, looking at the flowchart, there's gonna be like it's gonna be basically as much content as we did during the prologue, because it's a little bit... I mean, it's going to be different because it's from Shiro's perspective instead of Reen's perspective. But I'm just kind of looking at it to future-proof how we're going to break up the streams going forward, because there's so much stuff that happens in a day, and it seems to vary kind of wildly from each day. Did you read all of Fate and Mirror Moon? I did not. I read through the prologue and then through at least chapter 1, I think. It was a few years ago at this point. I don't remember exactly when I stopped reading it, but I know I didn't finish it. I didn't even finish the Fate route. I don't remember how far I got. But yeah, we might have to kind of play it by ear as the chapters go by. I'm gonna try and have the flowcharts up in the background, so that if we're like coming up on 3 or 4 hours, and I might end up having to I want to try to avoid cutting stuff off in the middle of one night. Like, I want to get to the end of a night, there's a chapter transition, and then we're like, okay, and then we'll move on to the next time. or if you want, I can help you get stuck. I don't think we'll. I mean, for today's stream, I don't think we're gonna get stuck. There's like, I'm looking at the flowchart. There are 2 tiger dojos that we have to avoid, but they're not even until like the 3rd day. I'm not super concerned. If and when we get to like the later routes, then like I mentioned, we're gonna have to worry about like setting flags and stuff. But honestly, like setting flags for it's gonna be kind of obvious because I know who the main heroines of each route are. So yeah, like basically, to get to the Unlimited Blade Works route, you have to finish the Fate route and then just do exactly the same thing and make one choice different. And then to get to the Heaven's Feel route, you basically just have to spend as much time with doing Sakura's stuff as possible. And then you just end up in the Heaven's Feel route. Once we're actually on the routes, it's gonna be new to me. And like I said, I've watched all of the adaptations. I've watched the Studio Dean adaptation of Fate Stay Night. I've watched the Ufotable adaptation of Unlimited Blade Works. I've watched the Ufotable adaptation of Heaven's Feel. So I've seen the anime. So I have a pretty good understanding of the stuff that happens. The only thing I'm curious to see is more detail on the Fate route, because I have heard that the Studio Dean adaptation, especially towards the latter half of it, they tried to combine some stuff that happens in the other routes to make it a little more well-rounded, which kind of ruined it, because that it screwed up the ending of the route. But yeah, I recommend getting the 2 different endings of Unlimited Blade Works and Heaven's Feel, and certain bad ends to get the ultimate ending. Ooh, I don't know if I knew about the ultimate ending, but yeah, I see. Just taking a peek at the flowcharts, I could see that there is more than one. It looks like there's one end to the Fate route, but there are more than one end to Unlimited Blade Works and Heaven's Feel, so... And that's going to be in the far future. Like, that's going to take a long time for us to get there. Like, we're going to do the Fate route on Mythos Mondays, once a week, maybe more than once a week, if I'm so inclined, like we did with Tsukihime. But Tsukihime was kind of, because I wanted to get it done before I left for TwitchCon. I don't think we have any plans for that, this time. No specific plans for that this time, anyway. So we're gonna do the Fate route 1 week at a time, until further notice, and then we'll probably take a bit of a break, maybe like a month or so, month and a half, and then we'll come back to it. Or maybe we'll do maybe we won't take a break, but we'll swap back to Tsukihime, and then we'll do Fate Stay Night again. We'll do the CL route in Tsukihime, and then we'll do Unlimited Blade Works in Fate Stay Night. And then maybe by that time we'll get the far side routes in Tsukihime, and we can kind of swap back and forth. That could be interesting. We'll see. It'll all kind of depend on what the future holds, really. It's too far ahead to judge. If like I said, so we're gonna do the prologue stuff today, so that's gonna be the first 3 days. The Fate route ends on day 15. I don't know. Once we get into the route proper, it might be one day, one stream. So it might take us 15 weeks, which sounds like a long time. But again, I don't know how much content is in each day. I don't know if there's a similar amount of content in each day. So it's gonna kind of depend. We're gonna kind of play it by ear, but I think that's enough. That's enough to meta discussion for right now. It'll go by a lot quicker if we just play the game. So, without further ado, let's go. I'm booting it up. Flashbang. Alright. Oh, before I forget. Yeah. We're reading. Yippee. She also saw the ufotable fit. Yeah, that was good. Okay, that was, yeah. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that we had like a reanimated opening. I like that a lot. And Studio Ufotable is just so good. Like, I hear a lot of people talk about Studio Mappa. I think it's Mappa that does like JJK. I hear a lot of people talk about them, but like, bro, when I watched Unlimited Blade Works when it first came out, I was like, holy shit, how does it ever get better than Ufotable? And then if you guys have seen Demon Slayer, yeah, they're so good. It's from the Vita version in 2012. Ooh. I don't know. Oh. No, yeah, that is what we're talking about. If I play that again, we're gonna get copyrighted again because I'm pretty sure that got muted in the VOD. My brain went boom. Yeah. Well, welcome to Type Moon, I guess. you of all people should know this already, Gilgamesh. I don't know if I knew that it had a Vita version, because I did have a Vita for a while. I don't think I have one anymore. K&K was my first ufotable series, and it was a sea of change in the industry. Nice. I still haven't watched K&K. I gotta check that out when I can. I gotta immerse myself in the Nasu-verse. I gotta consume all of the content. Can we? Oh, we like that. Autosave on. That's probably good. What do you mean two-handed controls? What's the difference between two-handed controls and one-handed controls? Oh my god. Yeah, there's a lot of configuration you could do here. First interaction was ufotable and Unlimited Blade Works, then I fell down the rabbit hole. Hell yeah. People criticize the ufotable and Face Night openings for being super spoilery. Oh yeah. Oh, that's true. Big time. For sure. I cannot argue against that. They're totally spoilery, but like a lot of anime openings are spoilery. So unless you already know, you don't really, unless you already know and can like piece it together, which like one anime opening springs to mind, Sword Art Online Season 2, but not the Alfheim stuff, the Gun Gale stuff. That anime opening was so obviously spoiler heavy that the twist in the show didn't feel like a twist anymore. It's like, oh, what? Like I thought it was so obvious. I thought it was a red herring, and then it happened in the show, and I was like, wait, so it just is that guy? I don't know. Well, that's fucking lame. like, why am I supposed to care? Was I supposed to not think it was him? No, it was him the whole time. And I don't even remember. It was like the identity of Death Gun. I don't even remember who it was because SAO kind of blows. I liked it in the beginning, and then I really, really didn't like it after a while. And then I went back and tried to rewatch it, and I straight up couldn't. It sucked. But anyway. I'm gonna smash my head into a desk. Yeah. So do we... Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, it just... Yeah, alright. So it shows us... Ooh. Ooh. So I wonder... This is cool. So you got the prologue up here. I wonder if it's prologue, Fate Route, Unlimited Blade Works, and then Heaven's Feel, and that's why it's divided like this. Oh, you can't see my mouse. It just occurred to me. That's okay. But like you got like 3.5 like rows. That'd be cool. Guess when you come to choices, it'll show the branches. Oh, maybe yeah, maybe it'll be choices. Yeah, so it does only show what you've read so far. So there's that. I found the flow charts that I found show specifically like every choice or any significant choice, anything that will either lead to the next chapter, the next route, or a Tiger Dojo. So it shows all significant choices. If I hit new game, is it going to give me the prologue again? I'm going to hit load. Oh, this is an autosave. I'm going to hit new game. And I just hope it doesn't give me the prologue again. Ah! Alright, good. I am the bone of my sword. Steel is my body, and fire is my blood. I have created over 1,000 blades, unknown to death, nor known to life, have withstood pain to create many weapons, yet these hands will never hold anything. So, as I pray, unlimited blade works. When I came to, I was lying in a burning field. Iconic English. I do. It's charming, you know? I like it. I appreciate it. It must have been a big fire. The familiar town was an unrecognizable smoking ruin. It looked like a scene from a war movie. The sight didn't last long, though. As morning dawned, the fires gradually died down. The towering walls of flame shrunk to embers, and most of the buildings looked to have collapsed. It felt so strange, being the only unchanged thing in the town. I was the only one left alive. I was either fortunate, or the house I'd been inside was built on the luckiest ground of all time. Either way, I was the only one alive. Since I'd survived, I felt that I needed to keep on living. I walked aimlessly, thinking it would be dangerous to remain where I was. It wasn't that I wanted to become what had happened to everyone around me, those scorched, blackened masses. It wasn't a feeling of disgust. Some other emotion was driving me on. At the same time, I had no hope. It was a miracle I was alive at all, and I didn't think I was going to last much longer. There was just no way in hell I was going to survive. There was simply no way I would ever escape this crimson hellscape, no matter what I did. That was how desperate, how hellish this place was, even through the eyes of a young boy. And then I collapsed. Either there was no air around me, or I simply couldn't breathe anymore. I just collapsed, and all I could do was look up at the slowly clouding sky. The scorched black masses around me lay motionless. The dark clouds covered the sky, promising rain. Good. The rain will put out the fires. I took one final deep breath and looked up at the rain clouds. I couldn't breathe, but I still felt pain. I said that out loud, on behalf of all those people who couldn't say those words themselves. That was 10 years ago. Miraculously, in the midst of all that, I was saved. My physical body survived, but everything else was scorched, reduced to ash. When a young child loses their parents or their home, there's really nothing left of them. And so, everything other than my body perished. Put as simply as possible, in exchange for my body living, my heart died. I'm dreaming. Average Shiro day. I squinted, seeing a bright white light. It was blinding. Light stabbed at my eyes when I woke. I doubt I really knew what the sensation of blinding light was in the first place. What? As my eyes adjusted, I woke, alarmed. I was lying in a bed I didn't recognize, in a room that I didn't recognize. I was honestly stunned, but the cleanliness of the white room made me feel at ease. Where am I? I looked blankly at my surroundings. The room was spacious, and beds lined it in neat rows. All the beds were full, and it looked like each bed's occupant was injured. But the room didn't feel depressing at all. Everyone injured survived. I let my eyes wander. I looked out the window. The clear blue sky was so incredibly beautiful. A few days passed, and I was finally able to take in the situation. I had no problem remembering what happened the days before, but it wasn't much different from a newborn during this time. Strange as it is, that was closer to the truth than might seem possible. The fire was just that bad. I was rescued from the fire. I awoke in a hospital. My parents were gone, and my entire body was wrapped in bandages. I didn't really understand what was going on, but I did know that I was alone. It didn't take long for me to accept my circumstances. Maybe I had no choice, really. All the other children were in the same boat. And then later, in the moment I, naive as I was, started to worry about what would become of me, he walked in. He appeared the day my bandages came off, and I started eating on my own. His hair was disheveled, his suit tattered. He looked a bit younger than my doctor. He looked more like someone's older brother than someone's father. Hello, you must be Shiro. His beaming smile seemed to blend into the pouring white sunlight. His voice was somehow irritatingly fake, yet extremely gentle. I'll come right to it. Would you rather go to an orphanage or go home with a man you just met? He was offering to take me in. I asked if we were related. He said we were complete strangers. He looked like an unremarkable, unreliable guy. But then again, he was no more or less familiar than the orphanage. So I decided I'd go with him. Oh, good. Then let's pack up quickly. It'd be best if you got used to your new home as soon as possible. He started gathering my things hastily. Even as young as I was, I could see he wasn't any good at it. And after he made a mess packing... I forgot to mention one important thing. Before you come with me, there's one thing you need to know. He turned, asking for confirmation. He asked so casually, as if asking me if there was somewhere I wanted to go. Yep. Let me be direct with you. I'm a magician. Chad, is he lying? Don't answer that. 'Cause, like, magician. And in the prologue, even Reen brought it up. Reen is a magus, or a mage. She's not a magician. Kirei... Spoilers. I've watched Fate Zero. Not yet, right. Kiritsugu, not Kirei. Probably just said that to make Shiro surprised. Yeah, okay. So he's not a magician. But he's explaining it to a child, so he says magician. Right, okay. I just wanted to clarify for myself. Like, I remember some of the things that Kiritsugu did during the Fourth Holy Grail War, but I don't think any of that was true magic, unless I'm mistaken and need to rewatch it. Right, yeah, okay. In our travels, we've met, I think, one magician so far in Witch on the Holy Night, and that was Aoko. And then she showed up again in Tsukihime, so... Technically, we've met her twice. Yeah, I don't think... He did use magic. The magic of gun! Yeah, I know what the... Aoko's magic's the fifth magic, I think. I know what that does. I think the second magic, Kaleidoscope, Zelrech, I know what that does. And I forget what... Oh no, and then the third magic is Heaven's Feel, right? I don't remember exactly what that does. But I don't remember the first or fourth, like, at all. Or if we even know what they are, so... Yeah, like I remember the second magic and I know what it does. I remember the fifth magic and I know what it does. I don't know about the first or the fourth. I don't know if anybody knows about the first or the fourth. And I don't remember... Like, I remember what happened in the Heaven's Feel route, but I don't remember, like, what that magic is. Like what the definition, like, what it does. Keep reading, maybe you'll find out. You're right, maybe we'll find out. Anyway, let's keep reading. He said it in a serious, almost ceremonious manner. It happened so fast. Now that I think back, I was also immature. I just accepted his words as fact. I took it neither as a joke or a genuine statement. Really? That's so cool, Pops. I guess I said something like that, eyes wide in astonishment. First is somewhat related to Alice. Ooh, don't tell me, don't tell me. Don't tell me anything. Yeah, obviously the movies and even the anime had to have to skip over a lot of stuff just to fit runtime. No, no spoilers. I want to know, but I don't. We'll get there. And I was his child. Actually, I don't remember how that conversation went. But every now and then, my old man would bring it up. He would recount that scene over and over, acting all embarrassed. That scene might have been the happiest day of my old man, a man named Kiritsugu Emiya's, life. You can say that. It was one thing for him to tell a recently orphaned kid he was a magician. But I was no better, the way I so eagerly bought into it. And that was how my old man adopted me, and how I took the last name Emiya. Shiro Emiya. When I said that name out loud, I felt really proud of having the same last name as Kiritsugu. I'm dreaming. It's from my childhood. It's probably about 8 years ago, since it's about the time when I talked my old man into making me his apprentice. Kiritsugu had started going away on a regular basis once I was old enough to stay home by myself. He'd always give me some childish, unbelievable explanation like, I'm going to go on an adventure around the world. Then he'd actually do it. From then on, that's how it always was. It wasn't unusual for him to be gone for a month, and at times he didn't come home for half a year. The Emiya Mansion is an expansive Japanese samurai-style house, and Kiritsugu and I were the only ones living there. It felt too big and empty for a child like me, and at times I felt lost. Fun fact: Kiritsugu's favorite food is burgers because he loves the concept. Yeah, right. He doesn't like oh fuck, what was the line? He doesn't like fancy cooked meals. The line's like this fast food with this sense of slaughter tastes much better to me. Yeah. He really likes burgers because he's edgy. Oh man, yeah. I think I watched the cooking spinoff, Emiya Gohan, or like today's menu with the Emiya family. I think I have that game on Switch, but I've never played it. I don't remember. I don't remember if I bought it or if I just wishlisted it because it looked cute. It was like a little Cooking Mama type thing. Anyway, burgers are delicious. But I liked my life there. Whenever Kiritsugu came home from his trips, he would brag and tell stories like an excited child. And another child, one who shared his last name, always looked forward to those stories. I may have been alone in the mansion, but Kiritsugu's stories always helped lessen that. He was always pursuing his dream, like a boy. I was weary of his whims, yet at the same time, he always looked radiant to me. Maybe that's why I hope to be like him one day. Well, as childish as I might have been, I realized I needed to get my act together, since I had an old man with his head constantly in the clouds. January 31st. Fate stay night. One day. One. I hear a sound. The heavy, rusted hinges on the door creak as if it's being pushed open. Light pours in through the crack in the door. My mind tries to shake off this slumber. Senpai, are you awake? I hear footsteps drawing near, and I feel the winter air flowing in. Good morning, Sakura. Yes, good morning to you too, Senpai. Senpai, it's morning. It's still early, but Miss Fujimura will be mad if she finds you sleeping here. Right, I was about to make a note about the hinges on the door, but I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be sliding doors. But, yeah, he's not in his bedroom right now. Pain, don't. We're so far away from that. Stop. Don't talk about it. Oh, yeah. Thanks for waking me up, as always. It's no problem at all. You're always up early in the morning. I don't often get to wake you up like this. It's purple kohai, yeah. I like that they kept senpai in the English translation because there is like an English equivalent for it, but it's like definitely more awkward to say. It would be like senior or something, which yeah, it kinda has the same meaning, but not really the same implication, so I'm glad they decided not to change that. Still pissed about Altria though, so all is not forgiven. I said one word, also sleeping on a shed floor isn't entirely terrible. Oh. If that's what you meant, then that's fine. Sakura showed up on screen and you said pain, so I made assumptions. I know, we're not supposed to know any of that yet. I don't know about that. I think you wake me up more often than you think. Then again, Fujine is brutal when she's the one waking me up, so I prefer you do it. Yep, I've learned my lesson. I'll try not to sleep in here next time. Someone counted how many times Sakura said senpai in the series. Is something like over 150. Nice. I'm sure if you could, like, decompile this game and look at the script, hit Control F and type in senpai, then you could get a pretty good count. Surely the word senpai is written nowhere in like the code. Thank you for the head pass. That's right, pat your senpai. My answer, still half asleep. My head's still not right, so I don't even know what I'm saying. Well, okay. But personally, I'd prefer you not to try too hard. Sakura's giggling. Crap. I must still be so sleepy. I've said something weird. You are not dog. True, I am wolf. Look at my teeth. I can't really show him off all the way over here. Hold on. Fangs. Wolfang fist! There's no Cernal circle anymore. Yeah! Yeah, I'm not an orb anymore. Yippee! You just noticed. We've been live for 50 minutes. The orb is perma-popped. Maybe we'll bring it back out for special occasions and whatnot. I don't want to use it. I used it. I can take a moment for an aside. I used it because, like, Vienna very much encourages people to use it. There's a free model. It was like a Christmas present to the community. But now that I've debuted this model, and I've kind of made Conla's story public. I don't want to go back to the old one, because that one's not really canon to Conla's story, you know? So it's I like it, and I'm glad that I'm overjoyed that Vieta and Riku made that for the community, because it's just such a cool thing to have a free model that's of such a high quality. Like, if you've seen any of Riku's other works, it's like phenomenal that she would do something like that for free. But it is, you know, it's based on an existing design. It's based on something that that's a part of Vienna's community specifically. So it's not me. It's not part of Conla's story, you know? So I have a fondness for it, but I don't really want to... I don't want to identify that with me as much anymore. Orb was like the prologue, and this is like chapter 1, you know? To kind of relate it back to what we're doing here. Not to get super deep about it, but, you know. Give me a minute to wake up. The cold winter air helps at a time like this. The chill snaps my lethargic mind awake. And in front of me stands my junior at school, Sakura Mato. I'm in my house's storehouse, and it's just about 6 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I'm awake now. Sorry, Sakura, I did it again. I need to help you with breakfast. Don't worry about that. You were up late again last night, weren't you? Then you should take your time this morning. I'll fix breakfast. Sakura's practically bouncing with excitement. That's odd. Sakura is weirdly energetic this morning. No. I'm getting up, honest. So let's head to the kitchen together. Okay, I'm ready. Let's go, Sakura. Senpai. Huh? What, is something wrong? No, not exactly. But, I believe you should change before you head back inside the house. Oh. I finally look at myself. I fell asleep working last night, so I'm still wearing my coveralls. The coveralls I wear while I'm working are usually dirty. Who knows what Fujine would say or do if I went into the house as is. Ugh. Okay, I guess I'm not quite awake yet. I must be more out of it than usual. You might be right, which is why you should leave breakfast to me. And you should take it easy, Senpai. Besides, Miss Fujimoto would be really angry if she saw the mess here. Yeah, then I'll get changed, so you go on ahead. Okay, I'll be waiting, Senpai. Sakura quickly walks out. Okay then, I'll change into my school uniform first. Then I need to collect all the parts I left scattered around. The storehouse is in the corner of the backyard, and all sorts of junk is crammed in here. Though I've always liked to tinker with gadgets, so the place is a treasure trove to me. The old man forbade me to go into the storehouse, but I ignored his warnings and snuck inside almost every day. Now it's sort of the base for me. I guess you could call this place my real room. The massive Emiya house never felt homey to me, but I've always felt at ease in here, surrounded by all this junk. Besides, it's wasteful. It may be junk, but a lot of it still works. A majority of the things in the storehouse are everyday things, mostly unusable. I'm not sure whether I brought it all in because I liked it in here, or whether I liked this place because it was full of junk. Either way, I snuck into the storehouse almost daily, and I made sort of a hobby of fixing broken things. I'm not the type who gets attached to things, but it just didn't feel right to neglect things that are still usable. Or maybe it would be better to say the idea of doing that just bothered me. Which is why I stayed up all night trying to fix a broken stove. I guess I'll be done tomorrow. Falling asleep midway is proof I'm not concentrating. I try to shake off my self-disgust at that. I gather the parts of the stove and put them back on the shelf of things waiting to get fixed. There's no more room, though. Once I fix the stove, an old VCR is up next. Both of which were destroyed by Fujine. We can set that aside for now. Okay then. I change into my school uniform. Since the storehouse is like my own room, I have all the essentials, including changes of clothes, in here. The rest are things like haphazardly drawn blueprints scattered all over the place and literal junk from my failed attempts at fixing various things. Also, there's some sort of pattern carved into the storehouse's floor, perhaps used as some sort of an altar in the past. Write that down, chat, write that down. Okay, gotta work hard again today. I clap my hands in prayer at the storehouse and turn towards the mansion. I walk from the storehouse to the mansion. This Emiya residence is a Japanese samurai-style house, located on the outskirts of town. My old man wasn't from a notable family, yet for some reason he owned this giant house. That in itself was a mystery, and it also seems he didn't have any relatives here in Japan. And so, when my old man died, there was no one else to inherit this mansion, so it came to me as his adopted son. Though to be honest, I don't have any administrative abilities. So things like inheritance, property taxes, and any other complicated things are all handled by Old Man Fujimura. Old Man Fujimura is a major businessman who lives nearby. Kiritsugu described Old Man Fujimura as an old man who's like a Yakuza boss. Obviously, that was his own biased view. In fact, Old Man Fujimura is not like a Yakuza boss. He is a Yakuza boss. That may be a problem in itself, but I try not to dwell on it. Anyway, that's why I live in this giant mansion on my own. It's been 5 years since my old man died. Time sure does fly. I sigh, thinking about how much I've grown in these 5 years. I trained every day to become like Kiritsugu, but that's easier said than done. It's not surprising, since I didn't have what it takes from the start, but the fact that I haven't improved at all these past 5 years forces me to reassess things. If I had to sum up my current situation, I'd say I set the bar too high. I haven't even reached the starting line. No, rushing won't do me any good. For now, I just have to do what I can. Okay then. What I need to do now is... And we get our first non-essential choice for this route. Don't mind me. Like I said, basically any choice involving Sakura is required to access the Heaven's Feel route. But you have to beat the Fate route and the Unlimited Blade Works route to unlock the Heaven's Feel route. So, we ride! There's a respectable dojo built within the Emiya house. It was added as an afterthought when the entire house was being built. It was nothing more than a hobby and an indulgence. Okay then. I'll do some light exercise before breakfast. I'm not really studying martial arts, but my old man once taught me, if you want to be like me, you'll need to harden your body. Since then, I've made a point of working out every day. 99, 100. I finished my daily sit-ups and changed from my dogi into my school uniform. Since I overslept, I decided to work out just enough to satisfy me. A few sit-ups with no stretching should be enough. 100. A few. Only a high schooler. Only a high schooler could do 100 sit-ups in one sitting with no stretching and call that a few. I couldn't do 100 sit-ups if I wanted to. And I could do a few, but I could not do 100. Just Shiro things. I'm not built to bulk up, and no matter how important they say bodybuilding is, it's not like I want to get into fights. Does that count as foreshadowing? All I need is to gain enough athletic ability to handle unexpected situations, and be able to move the way my silly ideals require. After all, the thing I most want to be is the complete opposite of an athlete. Oh, it's getting late. I tossed my sweaty dogi in the laundry hamper. It's already 20 past 6. The Emiya household's mornings start early, so even this time would be considered late for breakfast. Breakfast is already prepared. The appetizing scent of the breakfast Sakura cooked wafts towards me from the dining table. You must have had a good workout. Breakfast is ready. Oh, thanks. Sorry I made you work more because I overslept. It's no trouble. And you did not oversleep. You're not in any school club, so it's still early. Clubs have nothing to do with it. And if they do, you going by in the mornings must be a lot of trouble, since you do have morning practice. Oh, well, I want to do this, so please don't worry about me. Yeah, you keep telling me that, which is why I wake up early, club or no. If you're coming by, it'd be rude to still be asleep. To me, waking up early is waking up before Sakura gets here, and oversleeping means I make Sakura prepare breakfast on her own, like today. You really are a stickler about this kind of thing. Even Mitsuzuri-senpai says you're honest to a fault and annoying, even though you're so crude. Mitsuzuri is the captain of the Kyudo club Sakura is in, and she and I seem to cross paths often. Is she still griping about me to you? Yes, she's working hard every day to bring you to your knees with her archery skills before you graduate. Is that so? She must be better than me by now. You know how memories get glorified. I don't mind the reverence, but I guess that depends on who sees me that way too. Mitsuzuri-senpai is really competitive. I'm sure she sees you as competition. Well, well, well. Shiro used to be in the archery club. Shiro used to be an archer. Shiro Emiya, an archer. Couldn't imagine that. Sakura scoops rice into a bowl as she talks. It's almost 6:30. The Kyudo Club's morning practice starts at 7. Attendance is not mandatory, but she doesn't have much time left. He was pretty good too. Yeah. Fujine should be here soon. Well, it's her fault for not being here on time. Sakura, let's go ahead and start eating. You're right. Here you go, senpai. Sakura hands me the rice bowl with a smile. Ah. Oops. I should be used to this every morning, but her delicate fingers catch my attention. I can't explain it, but it's awkward. I'm not sure if it's our age, but Sakura's been looking more provocative lately. I guess this is internal monologue, so... But still... Damn, bro, calm down. All you did was touch fingers. Her casual movements are so pretty, she often takes my breath away. Aww. Maybe it's because I never saw Sakura that way before, but now I'm noticing how feminine she's becoming. Senpai, is something the matter? No, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. Honestly, it's baffling. Why the hell am I getting nervous around my friend's younger sister? Sakura is just a really good and considerate younger friend of mine, and she's someone I need to look after. She's the younger sister of a friend of mine. We used to be friendly, though initially we weren't very close, since she's a grade below me. It was only a year and a half ago that our relationship became more what it is now. Sakura started to come by and cook meals for me when I got hurt, and things kind of stayed like that. I think this arrangement was supposed to last until I got better, but I guess something or other happened, and somehow she ended up helping out with household chores. Either way, Sakura's a good cook, and her cleaning and laundry skills are perfect. Having her come early in the morning is a big help, but it's been disconcerting recently. Sakura isn't the problem, it's me. In other words, she's perfect housewife material. I'm sure being flustered by my friend's sister is part of the reason I feel guilty. Usually I'm unfazed, but when I blush because I get caught off guard like now, I wonder whether that's problematic as her senpai. Breakfast is lined up neatly on the table. A perfectly balanced meal of chicken with parsley salad, grilled salmon, blanched spinach, miso soup with radish and carrots, and grated yam soup. If that's a balanced breakfast, what in the world have I been eating? You got like 4, 5 different dishes? Most of the time my breakfast consists of a cup of coffee and maybe like a bagel. Or lately I've been cooking omelets. But even then, not often. Usually it's just a cup of coffee. Food stay night. I'm not reading that out. Itadakimasu. Y'all know what that means, basically. Yeah, you've watched an anime before. Itadakimasu. Sakura and I sit down and bow, and begin our meal in silence. The gentle tapping of chopsticks is the only sound in the room. Sakura isn't typically talkative, and I hardly have anything to chat about during meals. So we eat in silence. Normally it's much rowdier than this, but the person who usually causes the commotion must have watched a spy movie or something last night, because she's eyeing the two of us through a newspaper she's propped up in front of her food. Miss Fujimura, it may not be wise to read while you eat. Sakura remarks differently, but Fujine ignores her. Fujine's acting weird, but her being weird at breakfast isn't really all that weird for her. Sakura's used to it too, and she's eating as if nothing's the matter. Sakura typically cooks up Western dishes. She really only began learning to cook Japanese dishes since she started coming here to help me out. Sakura learned to cook simple Japanese dishes, at least for breakfast, because Fujine and I prefer them. Now, Sakura's cooking skills have improved to the point she's better than me, and I'm the one who is teaching her. Her miso soup is flavorful and refined now, and she's even gotten to the point where she can grate yams to make yam soup. Actually, I think today is the first time she's served yam soup. Sorry, Sakura, could you pass the soy sauce? Here. Oh, my senpai. You've run out of the soy sauce you usually use. Then I can use Fujine's. Pass it over. Miss Fujimura, do you mind? Fujine nods. The newspaper shuffles. Here you go. Are you going to use it for your yam soup? Yeah, everyone puts soy sauce on grated yams. A line of soy sauce streams from the bottle and onto the grated white mound. I stir the mixture up, pour it over my rice, and take a bite. The stickiness of the grated yam combined with the intense flavor of the soy sauce. What the? This isn't soy sauce, it's oyster sauce. Fujine tosses her newspaper onto the table with an enthusiastic flick of her wrists. What do you think of my little stunt switching the oyster sauce and soy sauce labels first thing in the morning? The not-so-mysterious spy punches the air in victory. Who pulls a stunt like that first thing in the morning? You're going to turn 25 this year, but you're still the same childless Fujine I've always known. That'll teach you a lesson after yesterday. You and everyone else who ganged up on me deserve divine justice. People can't enact divine justice. I knew you were weirdly quiet. I can't believe you've been plotting this since yesterday. You have entirely too much free time on your hands. That's right. And because of that, I need to get to work grading tests. So I need to skedaddle. I almost said cascaddle. Whatever. Those are two made-up words. So I need to skedaddle, or else I'm in real trouble. Fujine sits back down and shovels her breakfast into her mouth. Thanks for the meal. Breakfast was great as usual, Sakura. Oh, it was my pleasure. And now I'm heading off. You two will be in trouble if you're late for school. And off she goes, stomping out in a rush. There's something terribly wrong with a world that allows someone like her to be a teacher. Senpai? Sorry that Fujine hardly savored the breakfast you took so much work into making. No, it's not that. What did you do to Miss Fujimura yesterday? She wouldn't usually go so far as to mess with someone's meal. Well, I accidentally called her by her nickname. See, you knew you were getting ahead of us. Well, I guess there's no avoiding her getting angry again. And you didn't apologize? Sorry, I forgot, but only because that kind of stuff happens all the time. Still not good. You know how much Fujimura hates being called by her nickname. You made her cry again, didn't you? Not only did I make her cry, she also ran away like a scared rabbit. And thanks to that incident, yesterday's English class ended up being a study hall. In fact, everyone in class worked together to make an award for me from their notebook paper because of that. I threw it away, obviously. Oh my. Sounds like you brought that on yourself then, senpai. Fujine is like an older sister to Sakura, so she's typically on Fujine's side. Which is fine on its own, but I wish you would consider the fact that I have to deal with Fujine all day long. Fujine was originally an acquaintance of my old man, and she's swung by the house pretty frequently since I was adopted. She kept on coming over even after my old man died, and now she acts like a freeloader, eating breakfast and dinner every day. Actually, it might have been thanks to Fujine that I was able to make it on my own after my old man died. And now, it is me, Fujine, and Sakura who are the residents of this Emiya house. But at the same time, I'm the only one who knows that my old man was a mage. They say mages have to keep that part of their lives secret. Which is why I've also been hiding from others that I'm learning magecraft after I became my old man's apprentice. Learning may be a bit of a stretch, really, since I can barely use magecraft properly. So it wouldn't make much of a difference whether I hide magecraft or not, but since it was my old man's dying wish, I've been training in secret. I finish breakfast and get ready for school. I put away the dishes with Sakura as I listen to the news on TV in the background. Sakura is looking blankly at the TV. A flashy caption reading, "Gas leaks continue," pops up on the screen. That's important, write that down. There seems to have been a big accident in the neighboring city of Shinto. It happened in a building in the business district. Apparently everyone on one of its floors lost consciousness from oxygen deprivation. Authorities have been calling it an accident resulting from gas leaks, but for some reason these incidents have been happening often. Are you worried about the incident, Sakura? Well, not really. I was just thinking that this happened in Shinto, which is very close to us. Senpai, your part-time job is in Shinto, right? Yeah, but the shop's not that big. I don't think an accident like that would happen there. So OST has OG music from Tsukihime chopped together? Oh. Huh. Does feel like Tsukihime. Especially this one. I don't know if you guys can hear it very well. It's very quiet in the background. But I can't entirely ignore the idea either. Gas leaks can happen in any building, and it especially pains me to think that hundreds of people have fallen victim. Some say that these accidents are happening because of faulty construction work done during the rapid development projects in Shinto. Either way, I hope there won't be any more victims. It's a disturbing story. We need to be careful too. Well, don't worry about that, senpai. I always make sure to check that the gas is turned off properly. Twice. Sure, I swear to God if you don't marry this woman. Sakura proudly proclaims. No, that's not my point. Yep, I've always known Sakura is a little off too. Senpai, did you lock the back door? I bolted it. Is that a problem? Not at all. Not at all. Then I'll lock all the doors. What time are you planning to be home today, senpai? One round, I think it's pretty safe to say. True. That'll be a long ways off, but we'll get there. I think I'll be home a little late. What about you, Sakura? I should be back at the usual time. I think I'll be back before you, so I'll make preparations for dinner. Yeah, that'll be great. I'll try to come home as soon as possible, too. The gate is locked tight. Sakura and Fujine both have keys to the house, and the rule is that whoever leaves last is in charge of locking everything up. Let's go. You'll be late for morning practice if you don't hurry. Okay, then let's hurry, Senpai. Sakura and I walk into town. We walk downhill along a long wall to reach a more populated residential area. The Emiya house is located on top of a hill, away from the center of town. Heading down the hill leads us to the residential area. Going further down, we reach the intersection at the center of town. Several roads lead out from the center of town. There's a large bridge that connects to the neighboring town. A hill that leads to Ryudo Temple. A residential area located opposite my house. A shopping district that both Sakura and I often go to. And finally, there's a path that leads to our school. We head straight to school without taking any detours. It's barely 7 o'clock, so there's hardly anyone around. Students making their way to their morning club activities are the only ones to be found along our route. See you later. Good luck at practice. I see Sakura off at the school gate as usual. Sakura is in the Kyudo club, so this is where we usually split off. And yet, Sakura doesn't budge this morning. Sakura, are you not feeling well or something? No, it's not that. Senpai, maybe it's time you come visit the dojo? Well, I don't really have any business at the dojo. Besides, Issei asked me to do something, so I need to go to the student council room. I suppose you're right. I'm sorry for bringing it up. Oh my god, give the poor girl a hug. Go to the dojo, do whatever she wants. Precious baby. Sakura quickly bows her head. I'll be going then. Please look forward to dinner tonight. Sakura runs toward the dojo, seeming almost apologetic. What was that? I wonder what that was all about. Shiro, you buffoon! Issei, are you in? I'm here. You're a little late this morning, Emiya. Issei glances up from his desk, looking like he's been studying some papers. Is it just you, Issei? Or where's the rest? They should all be at school by now. Well, unfortunately, the rest of the members are all very on the clock. They all have their set work hours, and they don't want to come in early or stay late. So that's why the student council president is doing busy work himself. Guess you got your own problems to deal with. It's the bro. Issei Ryudo. Well, I live for these sorts of problems. I don't need your sympathy, Emiya. What are you talking about? I'm not sympathizing with you. Well, that's too bad. I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that. After all, the fact of the matter is that you still care. Issei, who's gathering his papers into a single sheaf and tapping the edge against the table to square them neatly, is the big boss of the student council. He's been working to reform the student council, which has grown quite lax, and he's been a friend of mine since our first year in high school. Since our first year in school. His full name is Issei Ryudo. Despite his old-fashioned sounding name, he has elegant facial features, and he's popular with the girls. He's also the student council president, so you'd think he would have the leg up over everyone else, but that's not exactly the case. Nothing beats a scalding hot cup of tea in the morning. It's saying stuff like that as he sips tea that's preventing him from quite sticking the landing. As evidenced, Issei is quite plain. He's prone to be misunderstood, yet he neither dabbles in relationships nor does what typical students do for fun. Gotta get rid of that he. Unless you wanted to say, nor does he do what typical students do for fun. But that would lengthen the sentence needlessly. I love finding grammatical and spelling errors in several tens of hours long works of written fiction. I don't know why. It's like a pastime for me. I just... Anyway. He's the heir of Ryudo Temple, which sits atop a mountain. He himself understands that he will inherit the temple, and there's a strong possibility that he'll shave his head without so much as a complaint as soon as he graduates from school. So, what do you want me to do today? Well, I'd like to tell you to sit down and relax, but we don't really have time. I'll explain as we go, so grab your tools and follow me. Let me get right to the point. Our school's spending habits are quite extreme. I know. The athletic clubs are favored, and there's not much money to go around in other places. Exactly. As a result, the culture clubs get the short end of the stick. I've been trying my best to establish a better budget for the arts, but the money trail has been pretty muddy, which is making my life harder, so the arts are suffering. The lack of heaters during the winter is especially concerning, and I have no solution for that. I see. Hey, hand me the flathead screwdriver, the biggest one. Oh, and give me some conductors, too. Yeah, this one looks salvageable. Conductors? These? Sorry, I don't really know my way around tools. You can get mad if I'm wrong. That's fine, you got it right. So, what about the lack of heaters? Is there anything else that's broken? Yes, the heating system in the second audio-visual room and the arts club room might be on its last leg. Forms requesting to purchase new ones are piling up by the minute. And you're saying that there's no room in the budget. Well, this one's just corroded. Good thing the inside's still intact. Oh, is that one salvageable, Emiya? Yeah, I can fix it. It's a good thing old machines are easy to figure out. The wire's just burnt out, so as long as these get replaced, this should last until the end of the year. Is that so? Way to go, Emiya. I'm glad you're so reliable and helpful. You say some weird stuff, you say. Oh, hey, I'm almost done, so go ahead and step out. Got it. I won't get in your way. Issei quietly steps out of the classroom. He might be thinking that I'm going to start on some sensitive work. Well, I guess you can call it sensitive work. I put my hand to the old electrical stove. No matter how long someone's been fixing things, they can't usually figure out what's wrong by sight. So the fact that I can means what I'm doing is not ordinary. I close my eyes and look inside the stove by touch. And then suddenly, A single image pops into my head. There are two places the wire's about to break. The electrical pipes should last a bit longer. The power cord should be fine with just insulation tape. Good. I should be able to fix it with just the tools I brought along. If the electrical pipes were broken, it wouldn't be fixable by an amateur. Had that been the case, a certain strengthening would have to be done, which no amateur could manage, but I should be able to fix this one by sight. This is the magecraft Kiritsugu taught me. Okay, let's begin. I take off the cover to begin my repairs. I already know where it's broken, so the rest of the work is easy. This is the one thing I'm good at. That's right. I, Shiro Emiya, have absolutely no talent in magecraft. But for some reason, I have a knack for visualizing the structure of things, or blueprints, like I did just now. My old man once saw me imagine and recreate a blueprint. He looked surprised, then muttered, "What a useless talent." My special talent appears to be pointless. According to my old man, the fact that I can visualize object structures isn't really helpful. A mage normally wouldn't need to survey an object's entire structure like I do. He claims the mage's struggle is to instantly seek out an object's center, or its core, and transform it as quickly as possible. That's why reading blueprints is a waste of time, and even that only helps seek out areas for magical energy to pass through. I think what Kiritsugu was hinting at was, like, the source, the root, seeking out the center. I think that's what he meant. And so, fixing broken stuff is one of the only things I'm good at. After all, I don't have to open the entire thing up to find the problem. If I can find the problem quickly, I can fix most things as long as I have the know-how to repair it. Though I only do that with things an amateur could reasonably be expected to fix. Okay, done. What's next? I put away the conductors, pick up the screwdriver and wrench, and head out into the hallway. Issei, repairs are done. Oh, hey. A female student is standing next to Issei in the hallway. She's my favorite. We finally get to see Rin from an external point of view. Yeah, is this the first time we saw her? Did we get a graphic of Rin during the prologue? I don't remember. But yeah, now we can see what she looks like. And we already know what Shiro looks like because of this encounter during the prologue. Origins are only explained in K&K. Well, then I'll have to... You know, I might see if I can find it, start watching it tonight. After stream, maybe. If I'm so inclined. I'm a little surprised. The girl talking to Issei is Rin Tosaka, a second year from Class A. She lives in a giant Western-style mansion up on a big hill, and she's an extraordinary honor student. She's pretty smart, athletic, no flaws at all. Oh, I'm sorry, she's pretty, smart, athletic. I said pretty smart. She's pretty, smart, athletic, no flaws at all. She's intelligent and polite, and she never brags about her looks. She's truly the ideal girl to guys. Apparently. Which is why the male students treat her like an idol. But Tosaka is just too good, and she's become unattainable. The guys all say the only people who can talk to Tosaka are Issei and the teachers. Well, okay, I'm also a guy. And I'm including myself in the list of her admirers. Tosaka is looking at us annoyed. I guess rumors are true that Issei and Tosaka don't get along. Oh, sorry. I was the one to ask you for a favor and made you do all the work. Forgive me. Whoa. Issei's pretty gutsy, talking to me and completely ignoring Tosaka like that. Don't worry about it. So, what's next? There's not much time. Yeah, next is the audiovisual room. I hear it's been on its last leg for a while, but apparently it's finally given out. If it's dead, I won't be able to fix it. Might be better to buy a new one. That might be true, but I'd appreciate it if you look at it anyway. I might think it's dead, but it might just be playing dead to you. You think so? Then let me take a look. There's only about 30 minutes until homeroom starts. I'll need to hurry and fix it, or I'll run out of time. I head to the audiovisual room, but I realize completely ignoring Tosaka would be rude. I turn to face her since she's been standing there the whole time. You're here early, Tosaka. I blurt out the first thing that comes to mind, and then follow Issei. You made it just in time. Sorry for all the trouble, Emiya. I'm a bad friend for asking for a favor from you and making you late for class. Don't sweat it. It won't be a problem if I'm late, where it might be an issue if you were late. That's true, but I'm glad we made it. Issei exhales a sigh of relief and heads to his desk. It's exactly 8 o'clock. 5 minutes after the bell for homeroom rings, Fujine will enter the classroom. Phew. My breathing is labored since I ran from the audiovisual room. I take a deep breath before I take my seat. If they say audiovisual room one more time, I'm just going to abbreviate it to AV room. What's with all the commotion so early in the morning, Emiya? Didn't realize you became Ryudo's whipping boy after you quit our club. Not that I care, but since you have no principles of your own, don't do anything to ruin our rep. Ah. Standing in front of my desk is Shinji Mato. He's been a friend of mine since middle school. His last name is Mato, and he's Sakura's older brother. He's 1 year older than her. Yo, things at the Kyudo Club going well, Shinji? Of course. There's no point telling an outsider like you, but the club's nice and peaceful now that there's one less member trying to hog all the attention. We're definitely going to make waves at the next tournament. Oh yeah, don't you worry. I hate Issei, Shinji, an appropriate amount. I fucking hate Shinji. I don't know where he is on the list. I have a list. If I may take a moment, that's the wrong button. If I may take a moment, I have a list of people that I hate. Of characters that I hate. Number 3 on the list was a recent addition from the most recent chapter in Nikkei, Goddess of Victory, the most recent event story. Red Shoes, number 3 on the list. Number 2 on the list is Makima from Chainsaw Man. I hate that bitch. And number 1 on the list of characters that I hate is Griffith. And if you know that name, then I shouldn't need to explain anything else. I think Shinji deserves a spot on the list, but I don't know where he goes. Because for the top 3, it's kind of like the 9th circle of hell. Shinji does some really bad shit but you don't really know exactly how bad it is until the Heaven's Feel route. It's kind of hinted at or implied or mentioned offhand in the other routes, but the Heaven's Feel route, at least in the adaptation, you get to kind of see it firsthand. So that's really bad. Maybe we'll see. Yeah, maybe we'll see him in even more detail. Maybe it'll be even worse in the VN, and then he'll take the number 4 spot, or maybe the number 3 spot. I don't know. I don't know. Red Shoes was pretty hard to beat. Go play Nikke. It's got a really good story. I know its reputation is big booty jiggling, but like, God, man, the writing in Nikke is crazy. It's so good. Go play Nikke. I need to catch up on the main story, but even the events. They have a new event like every 2 weeks, and the writing is always phenomenal. For like the offhanded events. It's fucking crazy. Sorry, I just had to note something. I just had a thought in the background while we were reading here. I just had to write something down real quick. Nothing important, nothing pressing, but I didn't want to forget it. Is that so? I guess Mitsuzuri's working real hard. Huh? What the hell are you talking about? I'm the only reason the Kyudo Club is setting records. You've been an outsider for a long time, so stop acting like you know it all, or you're going to embarrass yourself. I fucking hate this guy. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Besides, I'm not involved with the club, so I won't really concern myself with it much. I put my bag on my desk and pull the chair back. What's that supposed to mean? Are you saying my Kyudo Club's boring to you? I'm not saying that, just that I'm not involved in all. I'm not a part of the club anymore, so it's not right for me to just drop into the dojo. But if there's anything you need, just let me know. I'll help whenever you need it. I remember you weren't good at fixing things and stringing bows. Yeah? Thanks. I'll give you a call if there are ever chores to be done. Though I doubt that'll ever happen. Well, that's good. A captain who leaves busy work behind wouldn't be much of a captain. Just try not to trouble Miss Fujimura. She's terrifying if she gets mad. Mind your own business. Just remember that you're not a member of the club anymore, so don't go near the dojo. And just like that, Shinji heads off to his seat, all self-important bluster as ever. Huh. He does seem moodier than usual. Oh yeah, that's right, yeah, he said not to involve Shiro, now he gets mad when Shiro says he's not interested, right? He's so God, he's self-important. He's so self-important, right? He's just a bitch. He's a little fucking pansy-ass bitch. Needy little bitch. Anyway. Unbelievable. How can he talk to you like that? He was the one who kicked you out. Oh, Issei, were you there the whole time? What do you mean? How can you be so cold to me when I was listening attentively to the conversation out of concern for my friend? Huh? What does concern have to do with it? I haven't done anything worth worrying about. Fool, of course I'm concerned. You have a short fuse. Now, granted, if you punched Shinji, that would have gotten you some applause, but it probably wouldn't make the girls happy. It wouldn't be right for me to put my friend in such an unpleasant position. I get it. Yeah, good point. Thanks, Issei. I don't think that would ever happen, but I appreciate the concern. Good. As long as you understand. But I was surprised. You usually get mad at the drop of a hat, but you're pretty tolerant of Mato. Yeah, but Shinji's been like that for as long as I've known him. You get used to it. Guess that's how it is. It is. Now, come on, get back to your desk if you're satisfied. It's almost time for Miss Fujimura to dash in. Haha, more like float in. The bell to start homeroom rings. Normally, the homeroom teacher comes into the classroom 5 minutes before homeroom starts, but our teacher isn't what you'd call typical. Homeroom for Class 2C typically starts 1 minute after the starting bell. In other words, I'm late, I'm late, I'm late, I'm late, I'm late! Homeroom starts with the sounds of Fujine's shouts and hurried footsteps. Okay, I made it. Good morning, Gonk! Clang! Metal pipe sound effects.mp3. Fujine tumbles, and I hear some kind of unnatural sound. Contrary to the hectic sounds of a few seconds earlier, the classroom is now dead silent. The mood shifts sharply. It's no wonder Fujine is called a human roller coaster. But honestly, the way she fell didn't seem like a laughing matter. Fujine hit her head against the podium, and she's still lying on the floor. Seeing her lying there, face down and unmoving, has everyone imagining the worst. Hey, someone up front, wake her up. No, I don't want to. She'll probably, bite me or something if I get too close. She's not a mimic. Fujimura wouldn't do that. Well, why don't you wake her up then? Pass. I hate stuff like this. I don't like it either. And you were going to make a girl do it? The boys should step up and take control. The students in the front row start to get rowdy. Those of us sitting in middle rows can't see what's going on. So we all stand up to get a look. Hey, she's not moving. Did she faint? Someone brings up the obvious. But the problem is, how would we get Fujine to the infirmary? We're all like comrades in arms after our time dealing with Fujine. Probably nobody's thrilled by the idea of taking a teacher to the infirmary. Miss Fujimura, are you okay? A brave girl approaches. Fujine isn't moving. The class grows more concerned. It didn't look good. Her head literally slammed into the corner of the podium. If that didn't hurt her, she really is invincible. Maybe we can recruit her for the baseball team. That's more like a threat. The moment the Tiger becomes head of the baseball team, we're all bound for the big Koshien tournament. Miss Fujimura... Miss Fujimura! It's no use. She's not responding. Tiger concussion. Oh no. Oh no, she's dead. Hey, you're right next to her. Wake her up. What? I don't want to. If she's dead, I'll be as good as dead too. But things could get worse if we just leave her. But nobody wants to go near her. Fine. We have no choice but to go with our last resort. Yeah, that. Everyone's on the same page. Except Shinji and I. We keep quiet because the two of us dared not be a part of what was about to happen. Ready? Wake up, Tiger. Tiger. It comes out a whisper, even with so many students speaking in unison. The word tiger is especially inaudible. And yet, twitch.tv/ConloRedleaf is where you're watching this right now. Let's go! Shameless plug right in the middle of the VN. I'm an idiot sometimes. That's probably the stupidest joke that I could possibly make. That's literally the only context I ever see the word Twitch anymore. Is the site that we're streaming on right now. Anyway, Fujine's previously motionless body reacts. Oh, she moved. This might be working, everyone. Keep going. It's the punishment of the tiger. Everyone must be on edge since midterm tests are approaching. It's a terrible idea on their part, but some students start to wave their arms and chant Fujine's nickname. Wake up, Taiga. It's morning. You need to tiger up. Don't give in, Tiger. Stand up, Taiga. Come on, wake up. It's time to wake the sleeping tiger. Taiga, Taiga, Taiga. No! Yeah. Don't call me Tiger! Like a sudden bolt of lightning striking, Fujine stands valiantly, as if the fall hardly scratched her. Huh? What are you all doing? You guys shouldn't be out of your seats during homeroom. Come on, get back to your seats and we'll begin. Fujine, back to her normal self, stands at the podium. It appears she recalled nothing between the time she jumped into the classroom and the time she woke up. Hey, Tiger doesn't remember anything. Sweet, lucky this morning. I don't know if you can call this lucky, honestly. Oh, excuse me, big yawn. The students shuffle back to their desks. Did someone just mock me? No, absolutely not. Must be your imagination. Really? Then okay. We're going to start morning homeroom, so everyone listen up. Fujine casually starts homeroom. She always goes on digressions between announcements, so it goes slowly. Which is why everyone should go home at an appropriate hour. The gates close at 6, so everyone doing club activities shouldn't stay any longer than necessary. But 6 is so early, Taiga. Don't the athletic clubs get an exception? They will not. And Goto, you better call me Miss Fujimura. Next time you call me by my first name, I'll get mad, okay? Yes, ma'am. I'll be careful next time. Goto sits back down. He doesn't seem particularly remorseful. Too easy. When Fujine says she gets mad, she gets mad. Doesn't matter if it's with a teacher or a student. And that is as close to a serious warning as she's ever going to give. Well, Goto doesn't realize it. That's it for today's homeroom announcements. I'll see you all at 3rd period's English class. Fujine waves and leaves. So that was Taiga Fujimura, the teacher of room 2C. Her nickname, Tiger. That might seem like a joke, but it isn't. She got the nickname because it sounds like her name, Taiga, but Fujine hates it. According to her, it doesn't sound feminine. But she got the nickname because of how she acts, so she kind of had it coming. Class will begin. Class duty, lead the greeting. As Fujine exits the room, the 1st period teacher enters. Because Fujine takes up almost all the homeroom time, mornings are always like this for our class. And so, another day of classes ends. There are many types of students. Some immerse themselves in club activities, some hurry home, and some hang out in the classroom after class for no particular reason. Cabby, what's up? Welcome in. Sorry, alerts are muted. The books were not supposed to appear there. They were supposed to appear around me, but I guess I'll have to fix that. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome on in, Raiders. If you don't know me, my name is Conla Redleaf, aka Conla the Kingslayer. I am the Wolf Boy Warrior, and today we are doing some reading on stream. We're working our way through Fate Stay Night Remastered, the visual novel. I've been a Fate fan for, wow, like many years at this point. I don't even remember when I first discovered the series, but we're finally reading the official translation of the Fate Stay Night visual novel, and we are just getting started with Chapter 1. We did the prologue last week. So you haven't really missed much. But Raiders, if you need to take care of yourselves after stream, grab a bite to eat, take a shower, do whatever. Don't let me hold you up, but if you're sticking around, I hope you enjoy the show. Thanks again, Gabby, for the raid. Hold on, let me get you a shout out really quick. I don't think I have any mods on right now, so... There you go. I'll do it myself. Let me take a quick sip of my beverage. Mild Ride, thank you for the follow. Oh, and if you aren't already following me, if you see the little leaflets here on screen, my little stream avatars, you can customize your own. It should be anybody who follows. It might take a minute to refresh. Cabby likes you, that I'm sure I will too. Awesome. That's lovely to hear. We did have an Among Us collab scheduled for this past Saturday, but it ended up falling through. Do let me know, Cabby, if we come up with another date for that. I'll try and I should be available most days apart from what I put on my schedule, especially weekends. But I'll just keep me posted, and we'll work something out. Anyway, back to the story. I was looking forward to that. Yeah, me and a few others, a handful of people. Hard to play Among Us with just 2 people. And so another day of classes ends. There are many types of students. Some immerse themselves in club activities, some hurry home, and some hang out in the classroom after class for no particular reason. I don't really fit in any of these categories. Do you have a minute, Emiya? Picking back up with what we did this morning, do you have some more time? Do that real quick. Well, it's not like I don't have any plans. It's not as if I don't do anything at all. The biggest reason I quit the Kudo Club in the first place was that I wanted to prioritize my part-time job. It's been 5 years since I started part-time jobs to earn money for living expenses on my own after my old man died. And when you do so many different jobs, there are some requests you just can't say no to. Today is one of them. I was asked to help restock some products for a bar, since they wanted as many strong helping hands as they could get. Though I'm sure I don't have to go help. The bar's likely asking everyone as an excuse to gather some folks and hang out afterwards. There are 2 options. I should help the student council, or go to my part-time job. I love that in Japanese visual novels, it always seems like your part-time job is a thing that you can just show up to whenever. Like, You clock in, you do some work, you clock out. But and that may be true. I don't really know what the part-timer culture is over there. But here in the States, if you just decide not to go to work, that's grounds for termination. Like full-time, part-time, temporary, whatever it is. If you just like choose not to go in, they could just fire you on the spot. So it always seems weird to me that anybody would just choose not to go to work. It just seems so flippant. Sure, was a teen. It's not a big chain or permanent employment. Well, yeah, but even then, like I had a small like part-time slash temporary job when I was in high school. I had to get specific papers to do it because I was 16, and there were things at that job that I couldn't do. It was in like a kitchen environment, so I was functionally I was a dishwasher, but it was like, okay, you like have to just wash the dishes because we can't have you working with the food because you're underage. So it's because and like that'll be a whole big thing. And I was like, okay, so then that was my job. And like if I didn't want to go, like I still had to like call out. Like it wasn't like I couldn't just not show up and then everything would be fine. Like I still had to like let them. I still had to be like, yeah, I can't make it in, and like I'm sick or something. Like, yeah, you worked in the kitchen. It was a small place. It wasn't like it was like a. I mean, I don't want to get too specific, but it was like a I don't want to say catering because that's not the right word. It was like a hosting place. It was like a place you would rent it out. You would rent out the place for like an event, and then you would choose a menu, and then that would be what was served. So it wasn't like a restaurant like we were taking orders. So it wasn't super like it wasn't crazy hectic like you hear stories about. It was very it was very structured, I guess. I don't know what you would call that place. I don't know because like technically it was a restaurant, but it was very like I don't know what the word for it is because because it's not catering exactly because catering implies you cook the food and for an event at a separate place. But this was like a place that you would rent out for an event that basically had built-in catering. I don't know if that's I don't know if there's a word for that. But yeah, that was my first job. That was a long time ago. That was my first job when I was still in high school. I think I was like a sophomore. But yeah, my point is, we gotta go to work. I feel bad for Issei, but I should probably prioritize my part-time job. I never promised I would go, but since I said I'd try, I should probably keep my word. Sorry, Issei, I have plans already, so can I get a rain check on this morning's tasks?
戦略
Plans?
ああ、例
Oh,
の
you
アル
mean
バ
your
イトか。
part-time job.
そう
Yeah,
か。
sorry for
そ
troubling
れ
you.
は困らせたな。
A couple of days won't make any
こ
difference,
ちらは
so
今
go
日は
ahead
接
and
近
head to
会
your
が
other
決まるも
commitment.
のでもない。俺の頼みなど気にせず、労働に励んでくれ。
What a bro, he's so understanding. Thanks. I'll get back to those tasks first thing in the morning, so please let me off the hook this time.
んそこ
Hmm.
まで深刻
I
な
thought I
話でも
said
な
this
いと言っ
wasn't a
ただろう。
serious issue.
急を要してい
We've
た者
got
は
the
今朝
urgent
で
stuff
片付
done
いた。
this morning. You can
残
finish up
っ
the
た
rest when
修
you're
理品は
free,
エミア
Emiya.
の手が空いた時で構わんさ。
If you say so. Is it okay if I pick up where I left off whenever I don't have work?
実際ない。
Certainly.
その時はまた
I'll
頼
be
りにする
counting
ぞ。
on you when that
エミア
time comes, Emiya. I think each choice gets across the same specific thematic point. Yeah, I suppose. I mean, with the early on choices or the like non-critical choices, it's you know, more often than not it tends to just kind of weave back into the mainline plot anyway. Issei bids me a stiff farewell and leaves the classroom. Okay then. I shouldn't dawdle. I may not have been given a specific time, but now that I've decided to go to my part-time job, I need to hurry over to the neighboring town. Jeez, I thought I was just going to help out a little, but they gave me 30,000 yen. It's like an unexpected windfall, or a stroke of good luck. That's like $300. That's more than $300 in today's money, but... Copenhagen, where I work today, is like a bar and supermarket that sells liquor all in one. And it takes a lot of people to restock inventory for this place. It's a job that needs at least 5 people, but the more people you have after that makes everyone's lives easier. Yet the boss is always like, anyone who can help, just swing by. He mentioned it so casually to the part-time workers and seemed to think it was enough. Thanks, boss, for undermining my entire conversation that I had 2 minutes ago. Thanks for that. Thanks. $300 for a couple hours. Yeah, that is pretty good. It's pretty fucking good. What would that average? That'd be like anywhere between $30 to $60 an hour, depending on how long he was there. Because I'd imagine, well, I guess it was. School was closed at like 6. And it's still midday. No, yeah, it was probably like an hour or 2, and then he got $300 for it. God damn, bro, I wish. But I'm the only one who showed up. The only people there for inventory were me, the boss, and Nico, his daughter. All hell broke loose. Now, I said Nico, but it should be Neko, right? His daughter, the cat, Neko. Right, anyway. You dummy, of course nobody would come. Neko was scolding the boss, yet I was the only fool who came, ready to be sacrificed. The two of them unenthusiastically applauded when I showed up, and then we all decided to organize the storage room as much as possible. And then, we somehow finished the inventory in 2 hours. Yeah, damn, 2 hours. That's $150 an hour. Nice! Neko's best girl, she's in Hollow Outer Axie, although we don't see her again after this. Aww. Good to know she's in HA. That's coming out next year, right? That has a release date? It had an announcement that it's getting an official English translation, but I don't know if it has a release date. I think it's coming out sometime next year. I'm still waiting on another announcement for Fate Extra Record. I've been waiting on that for years, dude. I don't know where the hell that is. Like, production was slowed dramatically because of COVID. So they're still like a year or 2 behind where they like would be. But like, man, come on. We gotta be close to a release date. Come on. 2025 for sure, right? Like, come on. It's gonna be peak? I sure hope so. Because I tried playing the original Fate Extra on the PSP, and I got bored as sin with the rock, paper, scissors combat. Oh god, it was fucking lame. Anyway, I've heard that the combat in the remake is going to be a bit more like a modern card battler, kind of like Slay the Spire. Now, I haven't played Slay the Spire myself, but I hear nothing but good things from it, so hopefully that holds true. That was amazing. Going for the extra brownie points or something, Shiro? Boss remarks as he eats a brown cake and surveys the afternoon's work. Not exactly. I'm just used to manual labor, so I've been working here long enough that I know where most things go in the storage room. I haven't been working here since I was young for nothing, you know.
あ、そっか。
Oh yeah. How long has it been already, Shiro? 5 years? Something like that. You were one of the only places that hired me soon after my old man died. 9 ads. Yeah, that's so. No wonder I feel old. We can pause, we can wait. What's 2 minutes? I gotta stretch anyway. Oh. Ah. Hold on. There's a crick in my lower back. I gotta pop. There we go. Don't get old. Not that I'm old, but when it comes to the average age of most VTubers, when it comes to the perceived average age of most VTubers, I think I'm above that. So there's that. Anyway, everybody get yourself a beverage or something. Everybody remember to stretch. Maybe stand up if you haven't in a while. It's always a good thing. I've definitely got to get a bite to eat after stream. Haven't eaten too much today. I mean, I haven't. I haven't eaten any like real food today. I've eaten some snacks. That's about it. Alright. You guys should be back about now. You get one final stretch in. And then we'll get back to it. Alright. The boss stuffs his mouth with rum cake. Next to him, Neko is nursing a bottle of warm sake. The owner has a sweet tooth, while the daughter is the drinker of the family. They sure balance each other out well. But honestly, you really helped us out. I'd feel bad if all you got from your hard work was just a few slices of cake, so here's a little something from me. He waves 3 10,000 yen bills at me. It's more than I'd get for a week's worth of labor, not 3 hours. Oh. Thanks. I hesitate, but I take whatever I can get. Just as I'm about to leave Copenhagen. Hold up. Emiya, who did you hear about today's job from? Neko stops me while she's curled up in front of a heater, resting. Really? Neko is curled up in front of a heater? You're just gonna... Emiya... I think it was Furumi. That idiot should know better than to push his own work onto a student. Well, whatever. You're saying you came today to help stock inventory, even though you only heard about it secondhand? Well, I was told to help if I wasn't busy. Furumi's a dumbass, but you're no better, you know. Whatever. I bet you're the kind of person who can never say no. I know. I remember that one time when you watched the store when Dad and I both got sick. Huh? That's not true. I won't do things for people when I know I can't. I only do things I know I'm able to. Yeah, right, huh? I seem to recall you were sick that day, too. Whatever. Anyway, my point is that you're a good guy, but kinda dumb. Which leaves me a little worried about you, so tell Fujimura to swing by soon, because I got beef with her. Is Neko and Taiga gonna get into a cat fight? Eh? Anyway. Neko makes circles with her fingers in the air as she downs her sake. She seems to think I'm a dragonfly or something. Okay. So just tell Fujine that? Yep. See ya. Try not to push yourself too hard, boy. Whoa, I've already crossed the bridge. I managed to walk back from the neighboring Shinto to Miyama without realizing. I walk through the still darkened town. It's about 7:30. There should still be people out and about at this hour, but there are no signs of anyone around. Well, scenes are meant to show Shiro's danger of being taken advantage of because of his pushing himself to help. Oh yeah. Yeah. And that only becomes more apparent. It's called foreshadowing. Actually, it's called defining a character trait. But anyway. It's called character writing consistency. That's what it's called. Oh, right. There was a crime committed in Miyama the other day. A burglar murdered someone, I think. Must be why there's no one around, and why the school curfew has been set to 6 o'clock. Gas leaks and burglars, huh? Seems like it's getting dangerous around here. No wonder people are avoiding walking around at night. It's probably not safe to let Sakura go home on her own anymore. Fujine might be fine, but Sakura's house is in the residential area on the other side of town. Guess I should walk her home starting tonight. Huh? I can't quite believe what I'm seeing. I must be wrong. I sense a presence on the uphill path I was sure was empty. Whoever it is, they're standing still and look to be peering down at me. It's one of the twins from The Shining. I unconsciously hold my breath. A girl with silvery hair smiles and walks down the path without making a sound. And as she passes by, you better summon one soon or you'll die, big brother. Oni-chan. What she says makes no sense. I climb up the hill and reach my house. The lights are already on, which means Sakura and Fujine are home. The moment I step into the living room, I smell the delicious aroma of dinner. Sakura and Fujine are both eating at the table. Tonight's meal is chicken stewed in cream sauce, and it's put Fujine in an especially good mood. Welcome home, senpai. Please excuse us for eating ahead of you. Thanks, and sorry for being late. I should have come home earlier. That's fine. You still made it in time. Please wait while I prepare your plate. Okay, thanks. I'll go wash up, so keep an eye on Fujine to make sure she doesn't eat my portion. Yes, I'll do that. I go to my room. It's a sparse room compared to the storehouse, but it's still decorated enough considering I don't have any particular hobbies. Though most of them are random things Fujine just left here. After I wash my hands and change, I head back to see my food on the table. Itadakimasu. Please dig in. I hope you like it. Sakura's as humble as ever. Sakura's cooking skills have vastly improved over the past year. My cooking is no match for her Western foods. My Japanese dishes might be a little better. Neither of us is any good at making Chinese dishes. I'm glad to know she's improving, but it's also a little depressing when the pupil surpasses her master. It really is delicious. The longer you cook chicken, the tougher the meat gets, which is why you need to take the extra step of grilling the chicken to a crisp to seal in its juices and flavor. This requires exceptional skill, and it's something the clumsy Fujine would never be able to manage. What do you think, Senpai? I think today's dish turned out quite well. No complaints here. The cream sauce is perfect. My cooking can't hold a candle to your Western dishes. Yep. Ever since Sakura started cooking, all her meat dishes have gotten better. Fujine, who's been concentrating on her meal until now, pipes up. And you're in trouble, Shiro. A student shouldn't stay out so late at night. She looked to be in good spirits thanks to Sakura's meal, but the moment she sees my face, her mood turns sour. I bet you were helping someone again. That's fine, but you really should be coming home early for now. Don't you remember my homeroom announcement about how it's not been safe lately? I was speaking directly to you, Shiro. You really don't need to make a homeroom announcement for something you can just tell me at home. You wouldn't listen if I told you here, though. You're more likely to listen if I tell you at school. That seems like an abuse of authority, or at least mixing business with private matters. No, this is just what I have to do to make things sink in for Shiro. He always gets the short end of the stick because he's busy helping everyone. That idiot should come straight home once in a while and relax a bit. Huh? Who are you calling an idiot? What's wrong with helping people? I'm not losing out on anything as long as someone benefits from my help. You're starting to sound like Kiritsugu. And that mindset has your big sister worried, Shiro. Seeing Fujine eating so heartily makes me wonder what exactly she's worried about. Miss Fujimura, just from that conversation, are you saying Senpai has always been like this? Yep, always. He's the type who would lend a helping hand whenever there's someone in need. It's not that he meddles in things, but he's always been a bit precocious. Fujine grins menacingly. Fujine, I'm going to get mad if you say anything you shouldn't. And you shouldn't ask such silly questions, Sakura. I glare at the two. Fujine clicks her tongue in disapproval, but... Miss Fujimura, please, continue. Sakura presses on, like an attentive student. Then let me explain. You see, Shiro just can't help himself when he sees someone in need. It's like helping the weak and subduing the strong. When he was younger, he wrote an essay that said he wanted to be a hero of justice. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. The ideals. Quit bringing up the past, Fujine. I can't really jump in, though, because it's true. Besides, becoming a hero of justice is still my goal. Wow, you are a really wonderful child, Senpai. Yep, it was astonishing. He would swoop in to rescue a little girl from getting bullied by a boy twice her age, and he tried his hardest at doing housework because Kiritsugu was such a slob at home. Aw, he was so cute and innocent back then. I'm not sure how he got to be the stubborn, disobedient boy he is today. That's on you, Fujine. That's what happens with children when they have bad role models. And if you want to say something to that, try making an entire meal all on your own. What? Fujine is shocked. I thought she would just lower her head and repent, but... Oh, big sister's so sad. Sakura, thirds, please. She holds out her rice bowl, asking for a third helping of dinner. We relax after dinner, and it's almost 9 o'clock. Well, what should I do? There's still some time before my evening training. I guess I'll... What should we do, chat? It is almost 9 o'clock. Let you guys weigh in on this one. Walking Sakura home, I think, is part of the things you gotta do for the Heaven's Feel route, but obviously we can't do that one yet, because we haven't done either of the other two routes. Maybe rest? Take a short nap before becoming magical. I feel like hanging out with Fujine is a personal punishment. Let's go. I suppose. I should take a little break before my evening training. The bath's been filled, and I guess I can ask Fujine to take Sakura home. Now that's settled, I should be as efficient as I can. First, I need to wake Fujine up, since she's dozing in the living room. Then I'll thank Sakura for dinner and see the two of them off on their way home. Then I'll take a bath and rest a bit more. And we skip over all of that because it's not important. And that is how my day ends. Just before midnight, Shiro Emiya must perform the daily routine of utilizing Magecraft. I cross my legs, take my position, and regulate my breathing. I try to empty my mind. I ignore everything around me and turn my focus inward. Today's on. I mutter the familiar incantation, as if putting myself in a spell. No, this is a kind of hypnosis. With no magic crest and no magical knowledge, the incantation I mutter is really just a way to focus myself and change my body. Typically, humans do not have any lines which allow magical energy to pass through their body. To temporarily change my body to create a pseudo-version of the lines, I need enough concentration to unify my entire physical and nervous systems. Magecraft is a battle with yourself. For example, I insert a burning steel rod into my backbone. The steel rod itself is the one and only magic circuit I can prepare for myself. By passing this deep within my body and connecting it to my other nerves, I can finally be a mage. This is not a metaphor. And if you look closely, a series of metal rods, which cannot normally be seen or touched, pierce my backbone. I'm a magician. Kiritsugu Emiya was a mage. He was a true mage who disciplined himself in a wide variety of mystics, plumbed the deeper secrets of the world and its workings, and even performed miracles. And as a young child, I admired Kiritsugu and begged him to teach me magecraft. But you can't just become a mage. You have to be born with talent and inherit a tremendous amount of knowledge. I obviously never had that inborn talent, and Kiritsugu never imparted any knowledge about magecraft to me. I was told it wasn't necessary for me, something like that. I still don't understand what he meant by that, but it didn't matter to me as a child. I always thought learning magecraft would bring me that much closer to being like Kiritsugu. I was blessed neither with talent, that is, an abundance of magic circuits within me, nor was generations of magecraft knowledge handed down to me. The magecraft Kiritsugu possessed, the magic crest passed down from the Amiya family, can only be passed down to a blood relative. A magic crest, which is proof one is a mage, rejects any non-blood related. As an adopted son, I could not receive the Amiya family's crest. Then again, since I honestly don't have any idea what the hell a magic crest even is, it doesn't matter much whether I have one or not. Oh, hello! Thank you so much for the follow, and hello, Raiders! What's up? Thank you, Kage. Welcome in. I have to fix the books again after. I mentioned it earlier, but I have to fix the books. They're supposed to show up around me instead of in the middle of the screen up there. Welcome in, welcome. What's up, Raiders? Thank you, Kage, so much for the raid. I think I still don't have any mods on right now. I don't know where everybody's at, but I'll give you a shout out. Oh, hold on. There we go. Welcome in, Raiders. If you don't know me, my name is Conla Redleaf, aka Conla the Kingslayer. I still haven't written a full-on raid intro since I stopped being an orb. But hi, tonight we're reading Fate's Stay Night. We're actually kind of coming on. I think we're coming up to the close of Chapter 1. We did the prologue last week, so the VOD should still be up on the Twitch channel and will be up on my YouTube channel. Actually, it should also have been published earlier on my YouTube channel. If you guys want to check that out, get caught up with the story. Kage, thank you so much for the raid, as always. And if you need to take care of any post-stream stuff, get yourself some food, get some rest, take a shower, any of that stuff. Don't let me hold you up. I think I peeked in for a little bit. You were doing Class of 09, right? That's I've heard many a tale about Class of 09. I don't know if I don't know if I could tolerate getting through it. The newer one. Oh, I didn't realize. Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was more than one of them. In all of it and all endings. Oh God. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I've seen about Class of 09. So I don't think it really qualifies for Mythos Mondays. Maybe I'll just watch your VODs, Kage, if you have them anywhere. Anyway, like I said, thank you so much for the raid, and let's get right back into the story. We're about to do some magic. Technically, we're about to do some magecraft, but, you know, semantics. It's just a matter of gaining the ability. If I want to be a mage, I just have to learn magecraft that suits the traits that I do have. Magecraft is, taken to its extreme, a skill supposedly meant to release magical energy. You could say that magical energy is a life force. Magical energy is separated into two sources: mana, which comes from the world's atmosphere, and Ode, which is created within living creatures. We've heard some of this from back in Witch on the Holy Night at the beginning of this year. Wow, Witch on the Holy Night was almost a full year ago. We started Witch on the Holy Night like just after the new year. And here we are with Fate's Stay Night now. That's wild. That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyway, no, this is not the time to be getting sentimental. Obviously, mana, which comes from the world itself, is superior to Ode. The sheer power of the world's mana is simply not even comparable to the Ode one human can create. The way that English sentences work, that should be the other way around. The Ode one human can create is simply not comparable to the sheer power of the world's mana. Yeah. A whole year. Well, technically we've been streaming. Well, I've been a VTuber for over a year at this point. I've been streaming for way longer than that. But we don't have to talk about that. All of that footage is long gone. Well, not all of it. I still have some of it. It's just all like privated. I don't think I have any of the raw data though. No matter the form it takes, magecraft utilizing mana will always surpass anything created from an individual's odd. So, a powerful mage is one who excels at drawing magical energy from the world. It's a lot like a filtration system. A mage will use their own body's circuits to draw in mana from the outside and convert it into something usable. Mages call the circuits they use to accomplish this magic circuits. This is the inborn talent part. The number of magic circuits one has is determined at the moment of birth. Typically, humans have hardly any magic circuits. They're normally quite rare. That's why mages will spend generations trying to ensure their descendants have a body more suitable for magic. Some families even go as far as to practice selective breeding in order to increase the number of magic circuits in their children. And since I was raised in a normal family, I never had a chance of having much in the way of magic circuits. That left me only one option. According to Kiritsugu, everyone is well suited to one specific form of magecraft. He also said something about drawing out magical energy based on the person's origin, but I never quite understood that part. What I do understand is that even someone like me can use at least one form of magecraft. If I can do that, then maybe I can be like Kiritsugu. And that's why I've only learned this one magecraft. That was 8 years ago. After a lot of thought, Kiritsugu took me on as his disciple, though he never seemed happy about it. Listen, Shiro. Learning magecraft means leaving behind common sense. You die when the end comes for you, and you kill when you must. Life isn't at the core of what we do. Death is. Magecraft is walking the path of self-destruction. I guess I knew no fear as a child. Kiritsugu smiled bitterly, placing a hand atop my head as I nodded enthusiastically. What I'm about to teach you is the sort of thing that could cause conflict. So you should never use it in front of anyone, and you should never forget your training, because it's difficult. Then again, you don't really need to follow it either. The most important thing is that you always remember that magecraft is to be used for others and not yourself. And that would make you simply a user of magecraft, rather than a mage. I guess Kiritsugu didn't want me to be a mage. But I didn't care about that. I admired Kiritsugu, not mages. As long as I can be the sort of person who lives to help others, like Kiritsugu on that day of the fire and nightmare. I got distracted. I feel the uncomfortable sensation of the iron rod in my backbone moving where it shouldn't. Losing control of my breathing now would be fatal. The pseudo-magic circuits would overwhelm my body and shred it to pieces. And that would be the end of me. Shiro Emiya would simply be a novice who died because he failed at an elementary step. I grit my teeth and try to recover my connection. After pain like walking through a storm of needles, the iron rod finally sinks deep within my body and fuses with me. I've been working on this for a little over an hour. And after all that time, I'm finally able to create one pseudo-circuit. A circuit capable of creating magical energy using my own self. Basic structure, analyze. All that's left is to allow the magical energy to flow naturally. Shiro Emiya is no mage. He is just a user of magecraft, who can only create magical energy within his body and channel it into objects. And that is why I can only do one thing with this magecraft, which is composition analyze. Enhancing objects. It's just strengthening a magecraft, where I apprehend an object's structure and channel magical energy to temporarily reinforce its abilities. Basic structure, alter. I hold a broken iron pipe. I pass magical energy through it to execute the most basic magecraft, to enhance its durability. Passing magical energy into something other than yourself is like mixing poison. My blood is a far cry from the blood of an iron pipe. Forcing an entirely different sort of blood through an object may well destroy it rather than enhance it. To prevent that from happening, I need to properly understand an object's structure and pass magical energy into it between the small vacant spaces. Composition, reinforce. This may be easy for a skilled mage, but since I have a hard time generating magical energy in the first place, even a task like this is as difficult as shooting an arrow and hitting a target several hundred meters from you. A typical archery target is 28 meters away. So it goes without saying how hard it would be to hit a target at 10 times that distance. My body temperature suddenly plummets. The fiery pillar passing through my backbone disappears, and my lungs seize in desperate need of oxygen. My back arches in an effort to keep me from passing out. Damn, I failed again. The iron pipe is unchanged. The magical energy I passed into it appears to have dispersed. Damn. Adding to something that already has a set form is hard. What I'm attempting to do is like adding an extra brushwork to a completed work of art. Adding something extra to a completed object raises the risk of compromising the object's integrity. The paintbrush, hoping to improve, may actually devalue the work instead. Which is why, despite its simplicity, strengthening magecraft is so difficult, and not many mages willingly use it. And it's not that I chose this, but it's really all I can do. It would be much easier if I could make something from shapeless clay, but a substitute that just recreates its form is all show and no substance. Which explains all the junk around. Whenever I fail at strengthening magecraft, I try to make substitute objects to practice and calm down on, but they all end up empty. I can visualize the structure of an object easily, and I can recreate something very similar, but it's hollow and obviously doesn't function at all. I wipe the sweat off my brow. I realize I'm absolutely dripping with sweat. If this is as bad as it got, I should consider myself lucky. But what happened earlier was really bad. Had I taken even a second longer to recover, my internal organs would probably be mush right about now. If only pushing myself to the brink of death helped me improve, there'd be some hope here. If only I was trying to be a Saiyan instead of a mage. But nothing comes that easily. At the same time, fear of death will stand in the way of improving my magecraft. Learning magecraft means courting death at every turn. Even rudimentary, everyday magecraft can spin wildly out of control from a single mistake, ending the caster's life. The very first thing a mage must do is resolve to accept death. Kiritsugu always looked sad whenever he brought that up. Maybe it was his way of saying that he didn't want me getting into any type of this. Saving one person means not saving someone else. Being a hero of justice means you need to be an extremely egocentric person. That was always his line. Kiritsugu always said that whenever I mentioned wanting to be like him. I still don't know what he meant by that. All I'm certain of is I want to save people. To be a hero of justice, like Kiritsugu Emiya. And I can't even manage the basics. I'm such an idiot for letting myself get distracted at the most crucial moment. It's not enough for me to just grasp at the object's structure visually. A skilled mage would be able to focus only on the crucial areas and efficiently channel magical energy. My dream is to become a hero of justice. I remember what Fujine mentioned at dinner. I never really thought of that goal as embarrassing or impossible. That Shiro Emiya will succeed Kiritsugu Emiya has already been decided. That's why I've been doing everything I can, despite how sorely I lack in experience. I don't know exactly what it means to be a hero of justice. But because I don't know, I've trained myself to the best of my abilities in hopes I'll be useful to somebody. I haven't taken my eye off that goal these past 5 years, but whenever things go wrong like this, I start to have doubts. I just don't get it, old man. What the hell do I have to do to be a hero of justice? I look up at the sky through a window. It's not just about being good for someone out of the blue. Saving someone and being a hero of justice are two different things. I know that, but what do I have to do to differentiate them? I've yet to understand that crucial concept for the past 5 years. And so concludes Night 1. Boat. There we go. Well, we did not make it to where we were in the prologue. I didn't expect the chapter I didn't expect the chapters proper to be nearly as long as they were. 1 half down. Yippee. Yeah, we are. We'll get there. We'll get there. I do have a feeling that Fate Stay Night is going to be a slower burn than Witch and the Holy Night or Tsukihime. There's a lot more content to it than there was those other two visual novels. Very slow burn, yeah. That said, thank you guys so much for joining me. Hopefully, future chapters will... Well, I expect them to be most of them long, some of them short. So we might have occasion for more than one night per stream, but it does seem like going forward it's going to be chapter by chapter every week. So tune in next week for the next chapter on Mythos Monday. But until then, check me out on Twitter and on Blue Sky, or join my Discord for my weekly schedule. Tomorrow we'll be back at 6 p.m. my time for more Twilight Princess, and then on Wednesday we have another multi-stream of Build Your Oshi, getting back into Elden Ring. Did I follow you on Blue Sky? I think you did, Clay. I think I saw that. I don't know. We get a lot of attention over on Blue Sky. I've gotten so many. I've been on Twitter for years. I've been on Blue Sky for months, and I have almost as many followers on Blue Sky as I have on Twitter. So it's nice over there. Tonight, who do we want to raid tonight? I kind of want to... I think I want to head... Who has more interactive? Yeah, there's a lot less. There's a lot less like dead accounts, I guess. Because a lot of my followers on Twitter, I'm pretty sure, don't use Twitter anymore. Thanks for seeing make it back in time for raid. Nice. There's a lot of people on. There's a lot of people doing a lot of different things. So I don't really know where I want to go. I think we're gonna go. We're gonna go say hi to Grimmy. Grimmy's a horror VTuber that I have had not too many occasions to catch live, but every time I stop in, she seems very pleasant. She's currently doing a tier list of horror games that she has played this year, alongside Lena Lazar, another horror VTuber whom I watch very well, not very often, but more often. Lena is one of the many inspirations that I've had for becoming a VTuber in the first place. And she also really inspired me to try doing storytelling and stuff on stream. She was kind of her doing unfiction, which is stuff like Marble Hornets or Inscription, the video game, stuff that kind of blends fiction with reality. Her doing that on stream kind of gave me the inspiration to do storytelling and reading visual novels and reading the kinds of stories that I like and doing that stuff live on stream. So go and hang out. I hope you enjoyed the tier list. They have a lot of horror games to go through. Some of them really scary, some of them more funny. I hope you enjoy all of their content, and I hope to see you guys here again soon. Like I said, we'll be on tomorrow with more